If you don't do this, you may incorrectly conclude that Shopify and/or Amazon is an unprofitable channel when in fact it is. Hey everyone, welcome back to another mini episode of the Free to Grow CFO podcast, where I break down one key concept that will help your brand increase profit and cash flow as you scale. I'm your host, John Blair, founder of Free to Grow CFO. We are the go-to outsourced finance and accounting firm for 8- and 9-figure D2C brands. Okay, so if you've been listening to our mini episodes for the last several weeks, you've heard about this unique framework that you can only find at Free to Grow CFO. That's our proprietary growth marketing game playbook. So what is that? It's a framework we've developed over the years to help brands scale ad spend profitably. Here's the framework in a nutshell. 1, identify the growth marketing game that you are playing. 2, set the first order profitability rule that goes along with that game. Step 3, define your game's scaling constraint. And step 4, deploy the growth marketing playbook options that are available to that game. So I've already talked about the apparel game and what we call the new customer dominant game. Today, we're going to talk about the high LTV game. So what is the high LTV game? The high LTV game is the game played by brands that sell consumables. Think supplements. This brand is characterized by LTV that can support CAC payback within a 3 to 6 month period, although 3 to 4 months is ideal. So this is a brand that has sufficient LTV velocity, meaning it's coming in fast enough every single month on a cohort basis that you can lose money on the first order, but get to break even by month 3 or 4. So the first order profitability rule for a high LTV brand is a controlled loss. You can lose money and oftentimes should lose money on a new customer, but it needs to be controlled. Why? Because the primary scaling constraint is the CAC payback window expanding. CAC payback window expansion means that you maybe go from a 3-month break even to a 4-month, 5-month, 6-month, 7-month as you scale. Why? Because as CAC increases, LTV velocity is not keeping up enough to keep break even at month 3. Now, I'm not saying that your break-even point has to stay at month 3 as you scale. That's a whole lot of nuance. It's a whole lot more that we have to get into in a separate forum. If you're interested in learning about whether or not your brand can afford and float CAC payback window expansion, you got to hit us up and work with Free to Grow CFO. But let's go through the basics of scaling the high LTV game. So 1, there's enough LTV to support CAC payback within 3 to 6 months. 2, that means that we can have a controlled loss that allows our CAC payback window to stay within that 3 to 6 month period. The primary scaling constraint is CAC increasing too high such that LTV velocity cannot keep up with it. But what playbook options are available to a high LTV brand? Well, there's a bunch, but let's go through some of the key ones. First, do not let your brand run out of subscription inventory. This is a death sentence. Strong monthly retention and a healthy subscriber base allows you to be more aggressive on subscription inventory levels because an overstocked inventory position is more likely to get drawn down by your existing subscriber base. So err on the side of caution and make sure you have more than enough inventory to fulfill all active subscriptions, or else this whole game could fall apart. The other thing is cohort modeling. You need to be looking at LTV by month in contribution margin dollars, not in revenue dollars, and looking at that compared to your CAC, at least the last 12 months, but oftentimes need to go back 12, 24, 36 months. If possible, you want to also pull analytics at the SKU and offer level to understand how CAC payback works at the SKU level and even the offer level. You also want to really look at subscribers versus non-subscribers because those segmented cohorts can look a whole lot different in terms of their CAC payback periods. Another important playbook consideration as you're scaling the high LTV game is if you sell on both Amazon and Shopify, you need the ability to combine the cohort model. What do I mean when I say that? I mean, you need to create one cohort model that has Amazon plus Shopify combined. Why? Because if you're spending heavily on top of funnel, like meta spend, which you probably are if you're scaling this game, you need to be able to see the combined impact on CAC, new customer sales, and LTV on a cohort basis across both channels because there is cross-channel bleed over. If you don't do this, you may incorrectly conclude that Shopify and/or Amazon is an unprofitable channel when in fact it is. If that seems a little scary because it is kind of an advanced analysis, reach out to us because this is something that we are experts at. So in summary, if you're scaling the high LTV game, it's all about a controlled first order loss. It's about analyzing your LTV on a cohort basis in contribution margin dollars against that cohort's CAC every single month. It's about never running out of subscription inventory. And it's about understanding that if you sell on more than one e-commerce channel, you need to see a combined cohort model with all e-commerce channels together to truly understand how your top of funnel spend is performing. If all of this feels overwhelming, don't worry. Free to Grow CFO's got your back. We're experts at running the high LTV growth marketing playbook. And if you're interested in learning more about how the Free to Grow CFO growth marketing playbook can help your brand increase profit and cash flow as you scale, check us out at freetogrowcfo.com. Don't forget, if you like today's episode, please hit the subscribe button and leave us a review. It helps us reach more people like you. Also, if you want daily tips on scaling a profitable D2C brand, follow me, John Blair, on LinkedIn. And if you're interested in learning more about how Free to Grow CFO can help your brand increase profit and cash flow as you scale, check us out at freetogrowcfo.com.